Alright. Trust 100. Gotcha. Alright, let's chat. Alright, what would you like to talk about? About Rose. Myself, huh? Your questions are quite naive. As I said, you can be far more assertive, can't you? Of course, I like passive gentlemen as well. So once again, my name is Rose. I am also called a nobleman who used to own a fiefdom in a certain remote place in the demon world, where I had a castle. As for my race, I'm classified as a family of slime called the Queen Pink. In case you're wondering, it's a demon of the dream demon lineage. Queen Pink? That's a demon I'm not familiar with in the human world. Even at church headquarters, I've never even heard of it. That's true. If recognized in the human world, there's a danger that it will gain faith and materialize like other demon kings. As a representative of one of that group, I would say most of the slime species demons are ones that melt humans. There would be a mass slaughter. Scary. The most important characteristic of Queen Pink is the aroma of its mucus that drives people crazy. And, of course, its absorptive power with pleasure. If you felt it up close and personal during the dance at the hospital, well, I'm sure I wouldn't need to explain it to you now. It is almost impossible for humans to resist its temptation. If you didn't take some measures to challenge me like you did at that time, a normal human being would jump into this body themselves. Unlike a succubus who seduces with words and approaches, I don't even have to move on my own. That is why Queen Pink is a Monster Lord class. That's why Queen Pink is a Demon King class. Just from the description of your mucus, I could tell that you were one of those. In fact, I could barely keep my sanity at the time. So then, when did that eye become a bioweapon? Yeah, that's right. Especially this one in my hat, which I requested afterwards. Isn't it adorable? Okay, so the eyes are her bioweapon. At first, I wasn't too keen on the idea of receiving this treatment as a bioweapon, but when I tried to use it, I found it to be very useful. Many men look at it without precaution, especially if we are in conversation. My position is very important in conversation, you know. From men who look at my face to sexually honest men who are glued to my chest. I like my smell, These work through eye contact, so it's very useful. I've been wondering, when we first met, I think I looked into your eyes. Why didn't you use the eye magic then? It's true that I'm a priest and I have a certain amount of resistance to magic, but if you had used that magic on me at that time, I would have lost for sure, wouldn't I? There are two reasons for that. One is I wanted to play with humans after such a long time for not having an assassination order. I dismissed the oozes. And the other one, I am ashamed to admit, but I had mistaken my important assassination target. That's one thing. I used it on the man's eyes when he pretended to know us. I regret my hasty decision. So I thought I would at least have some fun with you, my original target, until you formally asked me to dance with you. I allowed you to go out for a moment because of my own self-discipline. But in the end, that was the reason why I lost. I never thought you would come up with such an ingenious move. That man, the man you mistook for me. Did you really eliminate him? Do you really think I would fail twice? That man has definitely been eaten by the melty ooze, and is now himself one of those melty oozes. If you wish, I could summon them right here and now and make them say a word or two about their human memories. But you dislike this method, don't you? But in his final moments, he had given himself an almost lethal dose of powerful sedatives. I don't think he has much memory left. Alright. How did you become a bioweapon? A Demon King class who had a castle in the demon world. Why would such a dignified Demon King be in business of assassination as a bioweapon for humans? If your life in the demon world was so fulfilling, you didn't need to come all the way to the human world like that. I don't really like to talk about this, but you're no stranger, so I'll make a special exception just for you and tell you. It all started with a certain retreating human. I don't know where he heard the rumors, but he said he had come to defeat me, who regularly eats people. She was good at what she did, but she was only human. Of course I let them know how much I cared about them. But what was interesting was its retired partner. There was Queen Alrane, who is a noblewoman of the same rank as me, but who gives to humans. I took both of them hostage and forced them to have sexual intercourse with each other and gave birth to an abominable child. Is that where that's how Ronnie that Lucy was friends with came from? Because demons can reproduce. It's just a huge taboo. A demon that is born of a demon and a human is rejected by both. That's why she's so obsessed with Lucy, because she was the only one to accept her. Of course, it was all to bring her reputation as a demon crashing to the ground. To conceive a child between a human and a demon is the greatest of taboos, even amongst the demon world. When she gave birth, her face was contorted. When she gave birth, her face was contorted in despair. So that's where she came from. I can't help but laugh when I remember her face back then. I imprisoned the abomination in a dungeon as a trophy and disposed of the two of them because they were already broken. It is the right of the victor, is it not? It was not with any particular plan in mind that I imprisoned the abomination without killing her. I merely left behind the sins of those who had stood against me. But that was a mistake. Looking back, imprisoning that abomination was my downfall. Yep, Lucy back before she was a bioweapon. That succubus of the rising generation. I have heard the rumors that Lucy had come to my castle. Lucy? She is a demon of a noble class, just like Rose. In the demon world, she is called White Witch, and it's said that even Lucifer recognizes her abilities. Indeed he does. He also has quite the crush on her. It is said that woman was born with a special constitution that allows them to absorb all the energy in a person just by touching them for a moment. Because of that constitution, her magical power grew rapidly. Yes, and she had despair because of it. As a succubus, she never knew the touch of a man because they would just die instantly. I think Lucy is a very mild-mannered person amongst the aristocrats of the demon world, isn't she? Why did she suddenly attack you? I'm the one speaking now? Who said that you could come out? If you disturb me and Richard's time like that, I'll tear you out of the ground and turn you into an ornament. Scary! I'm sorry. That woman. She didn't pay any attention to my men or my castle goods and just went down to the dungeon. That woman only wanted that abomination of a child. She ignored even me and tried to rescue them. I let my pride and anger get the better of me and challenged her to a fight on the spot. Unfortunately, the result was... And on top of that, what was even more humiliating was that I was so worn out from my bout of Lucy that a single human female came to visit me. I admit that those who could get a visit without being crushed by the miasma of the demon world are quite skilled, but for her to come to me, of all things, I would not lose to a human. She lost? So the human woman who visited Rose is related to MOW? Of course! What's her name? Of course, it was Mizuki who went and visited her. And she suggested you working as a bioweapon? The woman said, if you work for us as our bioweapon, we will give you a place where you can hide from the wise and eat people. It's not a bad deal. You can return to the demon world whenever you think you've had enough. And I'll give you a ballroom worthy of you. One thing, before anyone misunderstands. I didn't entirely believe her. As the loser of the duel, I followed the recommendation of the winner. And what I needed at that time was to regain my magical power that I had lost through repeated defeats as soon as possible. All I needed to do was get revenge on the White Witch as quickly as possible. Let me ask you something. Who was it that sent the assassination order to you? Was it the MOW woman who brought you out to the human world? No. When I was taken out, the only person who could tell me about the assassination was a man, though it was only through audio. She didn't even show her face while I was issuing orders. I know it was rude of her, but in the end she was correct. I could have fed on human souls and built up my strength without the demon world noticing. And now that I'm here, I wouldn't have let that Lucy get the better of me. Rose unexpectedly groped to Richard with a nasty hand. Now that people like you have won me over and make me look good in a place like this, let me make one thing clear before you get the wrong idea. I have not given up on my revenge against Lucy, or my restoration in the demon world in any way. If there is a chance, I will enslave you and take you back to the demon world. And then I will be resurrected as a great demon king who rules over the demon world using the power of that seal of yours. At the best, you should stay on your toes. Stop! This is making me rather anxious. Alright. About those girls, there's nothing I can explain to you now. Now, let's see. What is your impression of those girls now? How did you feel when you saw those girls behave in the series of events at the hospital? I think they're innocent and cute. I think they're innocent and horrible. I want to have sex with them right now! I just gotta say I want to have sex with them right now. My. Are you a monkey whose thoughts are directly connected to your sexual desire? Or did you like their play? If you wish, I can tease your little desires and create your own melty ooze. Alive and submissive, one for masturbatory purposes. How would you like that? Strictly speaking, they do not understand most of the words they utter, although they are knowledgeable about their reproductive instincts. The partner's words such as "it feels good" and more are taken as compliments to their own sexual prowess, but I love you and the like are only recited as if parroting. Okay. If they keep sucking enough stuff, some individuals who cannot talk will appear to some extent, as will the exploiters. In the end, the only thing on their mind is the act of reproduction. So it is useless to befriend them. They don't have any thought process other than increase their numbers to begin with. What they ultimately want at the end of any friendship is your soul and your stuff. I knew it was just so I was right after all. I knew it was just an abuse of residual memory to make Sakamoto as the melty ooze talk. Once the human that becomes a melty ooze is digested, their will is completely gone. Exactly. Because those kids love their bellies for hours in order to completely erase the human soul's thoughts and intentions. Or do you, on the contrary, think that even in that form, that a human being could have been saved if there had been any human will left in him? Do you think that you, as a clergyman, can save a human like that, just like a normal townsperson? Do you think you could do something with that mushy mess? No, I didn't think so. I just wanted to clarify that part for Rei and Sakamoto. I'm not all powerful, not perfect. I'm not going to be so conceited about what I can do. I am but a single man before I am a clergyman. You didn't get angry this time. I thought you asked me that question on purpose to invoke that power. With that power, you would be even with me now. No, with that power, you would far surpass me. I'm always up for a good time. A serious match with you using that power, that would be very interesting. Defeating you will not bring Sakamoto back. Just because you are in my room this time doesn't mean that there won't be any damage or repercussions to you. Or to the surroundings. I know that you are trying to provoke me to destroy my room, but unfortunately, I also understand that that power is dangerous. I am one who forgives others. It is fate or God who judges people, not me. It doesn't matter if it's a human or a demon. It's all the same. You are quite a sweetheart, aren't you? Do you really believe that God judges all the sins and absurdities in this world equally? But I like him more and more. I've heard that people are attracted to the opposite of themselves. I think I'm going to fall in love with you. The moment your mask of restraint falls off, I look forward to the day when I can watch you. Alright. Do you have a bond quest? You do indeed. Hospital anomalies. Alright. To be honest, it's a little awkward for me to ask you to do something like this, but since I am sealed up here, I have no choice but to ask you. Actually, the melty oozes that were left at the hospital have been destroyed, one after another, by someone. I'd like you to go to the site and investigate the cause. Destroyed? I can understand purify or exterminate, but destroyed? That's how I would describe it. I don't think it's a way to deal with them that can be copied by anyone, such as destroying their core as if you were squeezing it. In my experience, I can only think of abyssal demons that destroy demons in that way. However, there is no indication that such a powerful entity has entered that barrier. That's why I'm asking you to investigate. But Melty Ooze you're familiar, right? What if we use Melty Ooze to gather information and identify the culprit? It doesn't matter that all they care about is their own sexuality. They will remember how their own kind were defeated so miserably in front of them. I see. You want me to go and ask instead... I see. You want me to go and investigate instead of yourself, since you're sealed up in a magic seal and can't move. Talk to Melty Oozes at the hospital. Investigate the anomalies that are happening at the hospital right now. That's generally what you're asking me to do, right? That's why I'm saying. Normally I would have gone there myself to destroy them, but since that's not possible, I have to rely on you. I'm a little nervous about leaving it in the hands of a human, but I'm sure you will satisfy me. I believe in you. Alright, let's go. Alright, before we forget, let's give it our present. Alright,